Imagine this. You spend a blissful Saturday morning sleeping in, only to be greeted by the looming mountain of laundry that accumulated throughout the week. T-shirts, socks, jeans, an endless pile that mocks your dreams of leisure. You resign yourself to the familiar drudgery of sorting, folding, and putting away clothes, a seemingly Sisyphean task that never truly ends. Just as you conquer the pile, a new basket appears, a constant reminder of the cyclical nature of this domestic chore. This, perhaps, is a microcosm of the human condition. We engage in a multitude of repetitive tasks, some as mundane as folding laundry, others more demanding like our daily jobs. These endeavours, while necessary for survival or societal expectations, often leave us questioning their inherent meaning. Is there any purpose to the endless cycle of work, errands, and chores that dominate our lives? The myth of Sisyphus, condemned for eternity to push a boulder up a mountain, only to watch it roll back down, offers a stark portrayal of this absurdity. Albert Camus, or Camus, I don't really know, the philosopher who famously explored the myth, describes Sisyphus' situation as the essence of the absurd, a world devoid of inherent meaning where humans are confronted with the indifference of the universe. Sisyphus' punishment perfectly captures the feeling of futility that can arise from repetitive tasks, a feeling we can all identify with when faced with our own personal laundry mountains. The human story is not simply one of repetitive drudgery. Enter the Become Forklift Certified obby, a peculiar game on the Roblox platform. Here, players take control of a forklift and navigate it through a series of increasingly difficult obstacle courses. The objective? To achieve the coveted title of Forklift Certified. On the surface, the entire premise seems absurd. Why would anyone dedicate their time to mastering the art of virtual forklift operation? And yet, thousands upon millions have played the game, some even conquering all 35 stages to claim their digital certification. So, what is the connection between the existential angst of Sisyphus, the tedium of folding laundry, and the seemingly pointless pursuit of forklift mastery in a virtual world? The answer lies in the inherent absurdity of the human condition. We are creatures who crave meaning and purpose, yet often find ourselves engaged in repetitive tasks that seem to defy any grand narrative. However, just like the players of the Become Forklift Certified obby, we persevere. We push through the laundry piles, the workdays, and the seemingly never-ending to-do lists. This video essay will explore this human paradox, examining the ways in which we grapple with the absurd and the reasons behind our continued persistence. By delving into the myth of Sisyphus, the curious world of Become Forklift Certified obby, and the realities of our own daily lives, we will seek to understand Imagine Sisyphus, forever condemned to push a massive boulder up a treacherous mountain, only to watch it roll back down with a sickening thud. This image, from ancient Greek mythology, perfectly encapsulates the absurdity that can colour the human condition. Sisyphus' punishment is a cruel caricature of repetitive labour, highlighting the frustration and futility inherent in tasks that seem to have no end. Our daily lives, though far less dramatic than Sisyphus' torment, often echo this absurdity. We spend countless hours on tasks that feel monotonous and repetitive. The office worker filling out endless spreadsheets, the factory worker assembling the identical widgets, the parent endlessly folding laundry. These are just a few examples of the Sisyphean struggles that pepper our existence. Even seemingly mundane chores take on an absurd quality when viewed through the lens of repetition. Mowing the lawn, a task that initially brings a sense of accomplishment, becomes a never-ending battle against the relentless growth of grass. Washing dishes, a seemingly straightforward chore, transforms into a Sisyphean cycle as meals are eaten and dirty plates pile up again. The cycle continues, a constant reminder of the seemingly pointless nature of some of our most basic tasks. The Become Forklift Certified obby on Roblox serves as a surprisingly apt metaphor for this absurdity. While the game's objective of becoming certified might seem light-hearted, the repetitive nature of the challenges, navigating a forklift through increasingly difficult obstacle courses, mirrors the repetitive nature of many human endeavours. Just as Sisyphus is condemned to repeat a Sisyphean task, players in the obby must constantly restart, pushing their virtual forklifts through the same obstacles in a never-ending quest for certification. The game's absurdity lies in its elevation of a mundane skill, forklift operation, to a coveted badge of honour. It highlights the arbitrary nature of some goals we pursue and the repetitive nature of the actions we take to achieve them. Through these examples, we see how the human condition shares a kinship with Sisyphus and the Become Forklift certified obby. We are all, in some way, engaged in a constant struggle against the tide of repetition, pushing metaphorical boulders up mountains that may never truly be conquered. Despite the apparent pointlessness of Sisyphus' task and the seemingly arbitrary goal of the Become Forklift certified obby, humans possess a remarkable capacity for persistence. We continue pushing that metaphorical boulder up the mountain, or navigating the forklift through the same obstacle course even after repeated failures. This unwavering perseverance arises from a complex interplay of motivations. One powerful force driving persistence is the power of habit. Daily routines become ingrained in our lives, creating a sense of normalcy and accomplishment. Think of the satisfaction of completing a grocery list or finishing a work project, even though the tasks themselves might not be inherently exciting. In the Become Forklift certified obby, players likely develop habits around controlling the forklift and navigating the obstacles. Completing a particularly challenging stage might feel rewarding, even if the ultimate reward of certification is somewhat tongue-in-cheek. Beyond habit, social expectations also play a role. We often strive to fulfill societal norms and expectations, even if they involve repetitive tasks. Work on a job, attending school, or maintaining one's home might feel monotonous, but these activities contribute to a sense of societal responsibility and belonging. Similarly, in the Become Forklift certified obby, players invest time and effort to achieve a badge that signifies their mastery of the game. Sharing this badge with friends or online communities fulfills a social need for recognition and accomplishment. Perhaps the most intriguing motivator for persistence is the pursuit of long-term goals. Many of life's endeavours involve a series of seemingly mundane tasks that contribute to a larger vision. Building a successful career, raising a child, or achieving a personal fitness goal all require consistent effort, even if the path is paved with repetition. In the Become Forklift certified obby, the repetitive nature of the challenges might not be the end goal for some players. The act of mastering the controls, improving problem-solving skills, or simply enjoying the challenge itself could be the long-term goal motivating their persistence. There's also a few speedruns out there, which are pretty impressive. While Sisyphus may never reach the summit, there's an undeniable strength in his relentless effort. The human spirit, like Sisyphus, finds a sense of purpose in the act of striving, even amidst the absurd. The stark absurdity of Sisyphus' punishment doesn't necessarily negate the possibility of finding meaning within it. Existentialist philosophers like Albert Camus, in his work The Myth of Sisyphus, propose that meaning isn't inherent in the universe, but rather forged through our choices and actions. This perspective offers a powerful lens through which to view the human condition. Even seemingly pointless tasks, when approached with a specific mindset, can become avenues for self-discovery and the creation of personal meaning. Let's return to the image of Sisyphus perpetually pushing the boulder. While the objective outcome, the boulder never reaching the top, seem inherently meaningless, we can shift our focus to the act itself. Perhaps Sisyphus finds a sense of satisfaction in the physical exertion, the rhythm of pushing, the defiance inherent in his relentless effort. He might even develop a mastery of the task, becoming incredibly efficient at pushing the boulder despite its futility. This act of mastery, this assertion of his will in the face of absurdity, becomes a way of creating meaning. Similarly, the players of Become Forklift certified obby might not be driven by the arbitrary goal of the title itself. The true rewards might lie in the process of conquering these challenges. Each completed stage represents a small victory, a testament to their problem-solving skills and hand-eye coordination. They might relish the challenge itself, the mental effort required to master the forklift controls and navigate the increasingly difficult obstacles. The game becomes a platform for self-improvement, a way to push their boundaries and experience a sense of accomplishment, even if the ultimate goal is somewhat tongue-in-cheek. Furthermore, the very act of completing a task, regardless of its inherent meaning, can foster a sense of purpose and self-worth, a refusal to succumb to the despair in the face of the absurd. Likewise, players who persevere through the obby challenges showcase their dedication and resilience. The satisfaction of completion, even in a seemingly pointless task, reinforces the idea that we can influence our environment and achieve our goals, however small they may seem in the grand scheme of things. Ultimately, finding meaning in the absurd is about reclaiming agency in a seemingly meaningless world. By focusing on the process, the act of pushing the boulder, navigating the forklift course, or simply completing a mundane task, we transform them from meaningless obligations into opportunities for self-discovery, mastery, and the creation of personal meaning. In essence, we become the authors of our own narratives, choosing to find purpose and value in the act of doing, regardless of the external outcome. The human condition, however, isn't solely confined to the realm of the absurd. While the repetitive nature of tasks paints a picture of a seemingly preordained existence, we possess a spark, a distinctly human quality that transcends mere mechanical function. This spark manifests in our capacity for creativity, love, and connection, breathing life and meaning into even the most mundane routines. Imagine the sheer human ingenuity required to invent the forklift, a machine designed for a specific repetitive task. The creation itself, the problem solving, and the artistic expression poured into its design showcase our ability to go beyond simply completing tasks. We are storytellers, weaving narratives into our daily lives, finding purpose in the connections we forge with colleagues, family, and even fellow players in a seemingly absurd Roblox game. Consider the act of cooking a meal. It's a repetitive cycle of chopping, mixing, heating, actions that mirror Sisyphus perpetually pushing the boulder. Yet, within this repetition lies the potential for creativity. We experiment with flavours, personalised dishes, and infuse them with love for those we share the meal with. This act transcends mere sustenance, becoming a way to express care and forge bonds. Similarly, conquering the Become Forklift certified obby is more than just completing a series of repetitive challenges. The act of mastering them, strategizing maneuvers, and sharing achievements with friends online becomes a testament to our inherent desire for connection and playful competition. The human spirit, unlike Sisyphus eternally chained to his boulder, retains the freedom of thought and imagination. We can appreciate the beauty of a sunset amidst the monotony of a commute. We can find humour in the absurdity of our situations, a coping mechanism that Sisyphus, forever condemned to silence, lacks. We possess the ability to rebel, to question the purpose of our tasks, and to carve out our own meaning within the framework of repetitive actions. This human spark fuels our artistic endeavours, our scientific advancements, and the very act of writing essays that grapple with the meaning of existence. It elevates us beyond mere automatons and imbues our lives with purpose, connections, and the ability to create. While Sisyphus may forever be trapped in his absurd cycle, the human spirit retains the agency to create meaning within the repetitive. We are not simply machines programmed to complete tasks, but beings capable of imbuing those tasks with meaning, forging connections, and finding solace in the beauty and absurdity of existence. But the question remains, however, how do we, as individuals, choose to ignite our own spark? How do we infuse our daily routines with purpose, creativity, and a sense of connection that transcends the seemingly absurd nature of our tasks? In closing, our exploration of the myth of Sisyphus, the seemingly pointless Become Forklift certified obby, and the repetitive nature of human experience reveals a profound truth about the human condition. It is inherently absurd. We are thrust into a world without inherent meaning, forced to grapple with tasks that often feel repetitive and Sisyphean, yet within this absurdity lies a paradox. The very act of acknowledging the absurdity, as gekkzzz argues, is an act of rebellion. We are not mindless automatons simply completing tasks. We possess the ability to question, to find humour in the situation, and to create our own meaning. Sisyphus, condemned for eternity, never gives in to despair. He continues to push the boulder, perhaps finding a perverse satisfaction in the act itself, or a quiet defiance in the face of his absurd punishment. Similarly, players of the Become Forklift certified obby engage in a seemingly pointless pursuit, but within the absurdity lies the potential for enjoyment. The challenges of mastering the game's mechanics, the satisfaction of completing a difficult stage, or the social connection of sharing achievements with others, these are all ways in which players create meaning from a situation that is, on the surface, absurd. The human condition is not, however, solely defined by the absurd. We are not simply cogs in a machine endlessly repeating pre-programmed tasks. We possess a spark of creativity, a capacity for love and connection that transcends the repetitive. We build families, create art, and strive to make a difference in the world. These endeavours, though they may not alter the fundamental absurdity of existence, imbue our lives with a richness and significance that goes beyond the mere completion of tasks. Ultimately, the question remains, how do we find meaning in a universe that offers none inherently? The answer, perhaps, lies in embracing the absurdity. By acknowledging the inherent pointlessness of many tasks, we free ourselves to define our own purpose. We can find satisfaction in the act of doing, in the pursuit of mastery, or simply in the connections we forge with others along the way. The key is to actively engage with the world, to push our boulder up the mountain with purpose, even if we know it will inevitably roll back down again. This acceptance of the absurd, however, does not necessitate passive resignation. We can, like Sisyphus, find a certain defiance in the act of striving. We can create our own goals, our own projects, and imbue our lives with meaning through our choices and actions. The human spark, that unique capacity for creativity and connection, allows us to rise above the repetitive and find solace, purpose, and perhaps even joy in the face of the absurd. So the next time you find yourself mowing the lawn, washing the dishes, or completing a seemingly endless cycle of tasks, take a moment to acknowledge the absurdity, but don't despair. Remember Sisyphus, the determined forklift operator of the hobby, and the countless others who find meaning in the doing. The human condition may be absurd, but it's also ours to define. So push your boulder with purpose, embrace the challenge, and find your own unique way to create meaning in the face of the absurd.